Hey everyone, it's Ms. Lopez. In this video, we are going to compare how the students did on the Chapter 5 quiz. We're going to compare those students who did the reading guide versus those who didn't do the reading guide. To do that, we're going to need their averages and we're going to need their standard error of the means. So let's start with the students who did the reading guide. So the students who did the reading guide averaged 44.6 points out of 50 and had a standard error of the mean of 0.5. The students who did not do the reading guide had an average of 40.3 and had a standard error of the mean of 1. The first thing I'm going to do is scale my graph. Now that I've put my scale on the graph, I'm going to label my axes. I've labeled my y-axis as the quiz average, and I've also labeled my x-axis with reading guide students RG and no reading guide students no RG. Next, I'm going to go ahead and draw the bar graphs for the averages. Now that I have both bar graphs drawn, I'm going to go ahead and add my standard error of the mean. In this example, let's go ahead and go to standard error of the means, which means that I'm going to take the standard error of the mean on the table and multiply by 2. Now I can take those values and find my upper extreme and my lower extreme. So for the students who did the reading guide, my upper SEM bar will go all the way up to 45.6. And my lower extreme will go down to 43.6. So there are my upper and lower extremes for those SEM bars. Now I'm going to do the same thing for students who did not do the reading guide. And again, because I am multiplying by 2, let's say that was the instructions that were given, were to take your standard error of the mean. Since there's nothing here, your standard error of the mean is at 1. And let's say that in the instructions they asked you to go to standard error of the means, then you would multiply each value by 2, and then that it would be your new standard error of the mean. So now I'm going to go up to 42.3. And now I'm going to put the lower extreme, which will go down to 38.3. So now I have my bar graph, your averages bar graphed, and I've included the standard error of the mean. And I've also included, in this particular one, I went ahead and went to standard error of the mean so that we can do some analysis. Now let's take a look at where those standard error of the means are and see if they overlap. So the lowest one here goes to 43.6. The highest one here goes to 42.3, meaning that there is a statistical difference between these two sets of data because there is no overlap in those standard error of the mean bars. Now at the bottom, go ahead and write that conclusion. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thanks so much for watching.